Good morning, everybody. How are we doing this morning? Good? Yeah? Did you have a nice Thanksgiving break? Awesome. All right, so go ahead and take your seats. Today we're going to be learning about genres of literature. There's plenty of genres of literature, but today we're going to focus on three in particular. That's going to be poetry, short stories, and personal narratives. All right? So, for our lesson objectives today, by the end of class, you should be able to understand what a haiku poem is and also be able to write your own. You would be able to draw a short story diagram and also be able to write your own personal narrative, okay? All right, so why don't we go ahead? Why don't y'all open your notebooks? And at the top of the page, write the date and the warm-up for today. I'm going to have you guys, write down what you think these words mean that I have on the board right here, okay? So I want you to write down how you think to define poetry, short stories, and personal narratives, okay? I'll give y'all just a second to do that while I take y'all's attendance. So after this point, I would ask the students to say what they think each word means so I could kind of gauge their knowledge about this topic before I dive into it. It's one of my formative assessments. Yeah. All right, good job, guys. Okay, so the first one we're going to start off with is we're going to start with poetry. All right, so I gave you several worksheets at the beginning of the class. I want you to take out the one worksheet that has the words genres of literature at the top. So this is where you're going to put your notes for the poetry section, okay? So I'm going to go through this and talk with y'all, and I want y'all to take notes on this paper, okay? If you don't finish it today, then we will finish it in the beginning of next period, okay? Awesome. All right, so poetry, the definition is it's a type of literature that expresses ideas, feelings, or tells a story in a specific form. So it's usually got lines and stanzas, okay? So let's see. Why don't y'all take a second to write that down? Awesome. Okay, so next we're going to be doing the characteristics of poetry. Brian, when you think of a poem, what do you think about the poem makes it a poem? Yeah, okay. So about love, yeah, some of them are about love. But lots of things can be written about love. What do you think makes it a poem? Yes, it can rhyme, but they don't always rhyme. Anybody else? Okay, so probably what you're thinking of, but you're not hitting on the head quite yet, is sensory images, okay? So poetry is the way that writers use the written words to kind of paint a picture for someone. So when you paint a picture, you use lots of colors, right? You don't want it to be just a dull painting. So if you're really trying to move the viewer emotionally or get them thinking about different things, then you use different paints, different mediums, different styles, right? So the same is true with poetry, right? If you're going to be writing something to show them or to move something inside of them, you're going to be using a lot of sensory details. Okay, so Jenny, will you please tell me what you think an example of a sensory detail? Yeah, so the bark on the tree was rough against your skin. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, different examples like that. So that is one of the characteristics of poetry, is sensory images, and that can be with smell, touch, seeing, hearing, tasting. Yeah. Yeah, and so the next one I want you to write down is it's written in stanzas. And then the last one is that, the stanzas, they're the structure of it. And that allows you to stress the different rhythm of the stanzas. Rhythm of the words, yes. So, and sometimes they rhyme and sometimes they don't. Anybody have any questions? Yeah. Yes, we're about to start talking about a haiku. Yes, you can go to the bathroom. Take the key. Alright, everybody got everything down for the notes page? Okay, perfect. We're gonna move on to haikus, okay?